Hey everybody, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. If you like making money, lots of money, this channel's for you. It's going to help you do that. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content, subscribe if you haven't. I don't know what you're waiting for, and leave comments below on things that you guys want to know. So today I'm going to talk about uranium. I updated my spreadsheet on a lot of the uranium companies, what the prices are in terms of pounds in the ground. So it's dollars per pound that I'm valuing some of these companies. I'm going to give my opinion on some of them. Again, this is not financial advice. It's just my opinion. And I'm looking at the valuation of some of these companies. I don't have all of the companies, and some of the exploration companies, I'm not going to have those valuations. This is just kind of a generic amount of companies that I kind of look at and do quick valuations on that I can get very easily. So I'm going to go through it and just kind of break it down. So I have this spreadsheet here. I've got the name of the company, the ticker symbol, the market cap, the reserves that I've gotten off of their presentations, if they're producing or not, the debt they've got, and the pounds in the ground. And I don't necessarily think that the high, low grade, it's more of how easy it is to mine, I think is a bigger weight than it is versus high versus low grade. So these are the producers. The producers are kind of up towards the top. And as you go down, it's either they're getting closer and closer to producing, or management perhaps has a little bit more valuation on the pounds per ground, and then you go down and down. Some of these become more, I would say, developers, and then even closer to, I would say, just exploration companies. And that's what we basically have, is we have exploration companies down here. That's what these costs are. They don't have any pounds in the ground, but they have very low market caps. Market cap is your ability to grow, so to speak. So I know a lot of people focus on the price per shares, but the price per share doesn't matter. It's actually your market cap. And if you notice, I mean, Bannerman, I think, is probably the cheapest one on here, or Pure Point Uranium. But those are the cheapest ones. And Bannerman is actually 103 million market cap. So that one is quite a bit larger than the ones down here. And these would obviously have a much easier chance of growing in the future because of they're such small market valuations. So if they were to find anything, if these guys were to find anything, I think these valuations would go up substantially to the upside and be priced more like ISO Energy, which is 168 million market cap because they found something. So looking at the valuations and the ones that get me quite interested, anything that I would say is kind of, Global Atomic's getting a little expensive. They're at $5 per pound in relationship to the price, because uranium hasn't moved that much in terms of price. So some of these are starting to get kind of expensive. I can understand UU with its rare earth kind of premium on it. But the ones that really excite me, and again, this is my excitement, where I like to be, has nothing to do with what you like. But I like Encore Energy, Deep Yellow, I like Fission Uranium Corp, Goviax, Bannerman. Those are the ones that I think are really good because they are developers going into production at some point. Or they have a lot of pounds in the ground, like Bannerman does, Goviax does. I mean, these all look very promising for a long-term hold, going from an exploration company to a developer to a producer. So those are the ones that have my eye. The lower risk ones are obviously the ones up here, but you're going to pay a premium for them. So that's I would say UEC, Global Atomic, UR Energy, Denison Mines, Energy Fuels, and Camco. Camco being the biggest one. Now, these are the ones that I have access to in America. Some of the other ones, like Kazatomprom, I don't have access to it. I don't follow it because I can't invest in it directly. So that's why I don't have this included in here. But going down in some of the explorers, I do have some in ISO Energy. I think they're onto something. I know they keep getting some good results. Baseload, I like Baseload. I like the CEO, James. So I've got some money in there. I have some money in Canalaska Uranium. I have some in Sky Harbor, I have some in Pure Point, and I have some in Standard Uranium, all at differing quantities based off of the money I had at that time, when I bought them and cost averaged in. But I do have some in all of these explorers just in case one of them hits something big. They're very small market caps, and that's the approach that I've taken. And I own heavier stakes in each of these companies up here, and I also own I own everything on this chart right here outside of Western Uranium, and I don't own any in Camco directly. So I own UU, DNN, URG, Global Atomic, UEC. I own all of these, and I bought them kind of all when they were down, when people weren't necessarily looking at them. They just pulled up, and then they went sideways for a while and did a little bit of a pullback, and I was kind of I went to town and bought a little bit of a lot. So that's kind of how I did it. I'm overweight, and again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I did. I am overweight Encore Energy, Deep Yellow. I have a little bit more in Next Gen Energy, a little bit more in Fission. I have a little bit more in Goviax and Bannerman, and a little bit more in Baseload. Those are the ones that I'm overweight in, if you want to know. So that's what I have for the pounds in the ground. Location, I almost prefer the Africa companies. It seems like they can get their permits very quickly. They can get it into production pretty quick. So that's, I think, a little bit of an added bonus. And I like a lot of the management of those companies. I think they're all pretty strong in Africa, the management teams. So I don't see any problems here. The management teams across the board are pretty strong of all these companies, to be honest. As you look at these things, they're all strong. They lasted through this massive, just hellacious bear market, and they're run pretty well. Yes, they've done some share dilutions. I think all the companies have at some point, because they had to raise money because the prices were so stinking cheap. So I think they're set up pretty well for the next bull run. I think any of these could potentially produce during the next bull run. And remember, there's a lot of deficits out even in 2030. I think most everything here is going to be needed and have to go into production at some point. So I think they all have good opportunities. The timing may be different for each of these companies. I just kind of splattered it everywhere, took the shotgun approach, and said, well, I'll buy a little bit of everything. I also own a couple more, I think, not on here, at the recommendation of some commenters. Is it Plateau Energy? I bought before that big move. Thank you for recommending that. And Forcis Metals, Forcis, I think I own that one as well. So I just add a little bit, kind of spread it out, and I'm riding this uranium bull market. If one of these hits it, if they hit big on an exploration and then turn it into production, I mean, that's going to be a very good returner there. And I think some of these exploration developers could turn out pretty well as well during this next bull market. So I'm just sitting there waiting. I'm not trading in and out. I'm taking the long-term approach. We're at over 60 pounds to 1 ounce gold, never seen in history, super cheap. And these companies are massive in terms of their returns when that ratio starts to compress against gold. And if gold's a moving target on up, I think uranium has a very good opportunity for investors. If you're a value investor, if you're patient, and you can stomach the volatility in uranium. So that's what I have for the updated pounds in the ground, kind of what I see, what my opinions are. You guys can disagree with it. I'm cool with that. Leave in the comments what you guys think and what you own for uranium companies. I understand that I don't have all the uranium companies out there. These are the ones that I did the original analysis on, and I just did an update. So give me a thumbs up if you like the analysis. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's ride this bull market up together, me, you, all of us, and help each other out along the way. Let's join this community. Let's have some fun. Leave some comments. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.